Hey, you know what's really intriguing?
Yeah.
The idea that important events in our lives cluster around our birthdays. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I think I've read something about that. It was Ciro Discepolo who talked about it, right?
Exactly. He's this astrologer who, after decades of observation, came up with two rules about this.
Oh, interesting. Right, and he said that the 20 days before and after our birthdays are super significant.
That's it. He noticed that major life events often happen during that time window.
Really?
Isn't that fascinating?
It is. But do you think there's like any scientific basis for that?
Well, that's the thing. Discepolo claims that his rules have been validated by official science.
No way. Really? How so?
Well,
I mean, astrology isn't typically recognized by science.
no, but here's the kicker. Swiss researchers from the University of Zurich conducted a study and found that people die more frequently on their birthdays.
Oh, wow. Wait, so he's linking his astrological rules to that research?
Exactly. He sees it as scientific evidence supporting his observations.
That's something. I guess that does seem to align. But isn't that a bit of a stretch?
Well, he argues that the statistical significance in the study validates his rules. He's been observing these patterns for over 40 years.
Yeah, but the study was about mortality rates specifically. Does that really extend to all major life events?
He believes it does. He thinks the clustering of events around birthdays is a broader phenomenon.
I see. I can see the point, but maybe it's, like confirmation bias. We might notice events because we're paying more attention around our birthdays.
That's a valid consideration,
Yeah.
but he claims to have statistical data to back it up.
Still, statistical data can be tricky.
True.
Did he use controls or account for other variables?
He mentions using the inductive method, observing over 100,000 cases. That's a lot of data.
It is. Yeah, but without proper scientific method, it's hard to draw concrete conclusions.
Fair point. But he also highlights that even in science, some phenomena are accepted with less significant repeatability if the statistical significance is strong.
Right. That's interesting. But in science, replication and peer review are key.
Absolutely. And he notes that the work of astrologers like the Gokkelens wasn't accepted by official science despite significant findings.
That's true. Right, and perhaps that's because of methodological issues?
Could be. But Discepolo seems to think there's a bias against astrology in scientific communities.
Maybe. Well, astrology isn't typically seen as a science. Maybe that's part of the problem.
He does say that astrology is more of an art or a human science, closer to sociology or psychology.
Exactly. So perhaps expecting scientific validation might be a bit of a reach?
Maybe, but he seems to value the validation because it supports his life's work.
Understandable. I get that. It's just important to approach these claims critically.
Definitely. But it's an intriguing idea nonetheless.
It is. Absolutely. And who doesn't like the idea of birthdays being extra special?
Exactly. It adds a bit of magic to those days, doesn't it?
Yeah. But do you think we should pay more attention to events around our birthdays?
Maybe. It's worth noticing if significant things happen more frequently during that time.
Could be fun. Perhaps I'll start keeping a journal. See what patterns emerge.
That would be interesting. I've actually noticed some things myself.
Really? Like what?
Well, last year I got a job offer just a week after my birthday.
No way. That's awesome. Maybe there's something to it after all.
Could be. At the very least, it's fun to think about.
Definitely. Yeah, but I'll stay a bit skeptical.
Fair enough. Skepticism is healthy, but keep an open mind, you might be surprised.
We'll see. I will. And hey, maybe my birthday this year will bring something exciting.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
Thanks. Well, this has been a fascinating discussion.
Definitely. Let's keep an eye on those birthdays.
Will do.